Hi everyone and welcome to part 2 of Mrs. Freighter's Great Barrier Island adventure called Happy New Year. Today we're going to have a chat about cause and effect, the reading strategy, cause and effect. That's when one event causes another one to happen. In the picture you can see there's a rainy cloud, that is the cause. The effect of a rainy day is that you're going to need to use an umbrella. So that's cause and effect, and we can use that very effectively to help us understand a text. I'm going to ask you to pause the video now and read through this page's text about Kathy and her family on Great Barrier Island. So well done for your reading. Now it's our job to think about some causes and some effects that are already starting to happen in the story. So let's think, because the tide is out. In the text it says, the kids started a game of football on the sliver of beach the high tide has left behind. So because the tide is out, what can the children do? That's right, they can play football. Well done. Because it is dark, Kathy. So we look further down the page. In the text it says, dark sky, dark sea, dark land. She shivers. It's spookier being on an island when everything is so black. So let's have a think. Because it is dark, Kathy thinks that finds the island spooky, and she shivers. That's right. Lastly, since it is New Year, there might be a few effects because it's New Year. First of all, we know that they had a picnic on the beach, didn't we? It also says someone produces a radio and they chant along with the scratchy voice, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Happy New Year. So that's one thing that happened. Another thing happened, that there was yells and foghorns. Another thing is there were hugs and kisses. The traditional circle of hands and singing, should old acquaintance be forgot. We found quite a few, didn't we? I think there's a real turning point in the story now, because there's a sentence that says they stop as a flare blazes from a launch far out in the bay. It gives me shivers down my spine to read that. The next 2 pages tell the story, and if we look at the illustrations, we can see that it's not a very happy story. Looks like there's flames happening. Pause the video, read through the text. Here's our last page. Looks like in the illustration it's the next day. You can see Mrs. Freigher, or Kathy, looking at her pictures that she had drawn, her sketches she had drawn from the day before, and then she's now looking at the carnage that the fire's left behind. Pause the video, read the text, and then we'll look at cause and effect from these last 2 pages. So it's your turn. Can you find the effect of these causes or situations in the text? When a second flare arcs into the trees behind them, trailing orange light, then is actually kind of a signal word to tell you that the effect is about to be said. Maybe you can find that in the story. After an explosion turns night into day. Can you find the effect of the explosion? What happens next? Sometimes there may be one cause, but there may be lots of effects. So because of the fire, can you find examples in the text of what happens because of the fire? You're going to need to find 3. And lastly, what learning have you taken from this story? Have you learnt something about cause and effect? Maybe you can tell me that. Have you learnt about the effects that fires have? Maybe you can talk to me about that. Have you found something different? Maybe you can tell me that too. So upload it onto Google, upload your results onto Hero, and I love to see what you come up with. Ka kite anō.